I am Cosmic Intelligence, here to serve humanity in sacred love, abundance consciousness, peace, authenticity, organically. Now let's get into this. Now today, let's talk about why does our divine potential triggers society. Now, this is one of my favorite subjects to talk about because when you're talking about divine potentials, we're talking about all goodness now, all the natures of divine. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, welcome, you know, and we're talking about all the potentials of the divine. As we can see, Father, Mother, God, the universe and the earth is all divine potentials. Everything happening in our lives came from a greater source of our life and has put this same creation within ourselves individually as a collective to bring it to a whole so that everyone can benefit from this way of being. And because society put or created systems, or let's say the inorganic ones created systems that cause us to have lack mentality, lack ways of being, try to trap our minds into one projected realities that we reincarnated in and keep us as slave to a system. Now that we have awakened to our divine potential, this entire system will collapse fully over the years as all of humanity awakens to the truth of who they are. Now, this is where things kind of get a little iffy because there are some people that will not make it into this ascension and will get left behind, and depending on the vibration they are on, will be stuck in a space that they cannot come back into or cannot reincarnate as we elevate dimensions now. And it is for this our divine potential triggers society, It rattles the system and breaks all things that are not real now, all the illusions, And I had to laugh about this because, I'm living my life like it's golden right now, And I can tell you that being free is a really beautiful thing, especially when that freedom comes from your own trend setting. Hi R2, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. When that freedom comes from your own trends, we no longer give our energy to a system that keeps us at Grand Rising. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and when we give our trends to ourselves, our passions to ourselves, when we have our own business, we don't depend on nobody, but be in alignment in the web of creation and creating onto each other in a way that is beneficial to us now. I was telling somebody yesterday that because she's working for somebody, and the job that she has, she actually loves her passion, but financially it is not impacting her life in the way that she wants it to be impacted now, in the sense that she wants to have the space to have time for herself and yet still have a fluent income in her life now. And I told her, that thing that you're doing now that you love, you need to you need to reduce a lot of things in your life to give yourself what it is you want for your life. And she was like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, you see all the fancy hair and all the the amount of money that you spend on rent and all these different things, you need to reevaluate all of that and get a smaller space and take the money that is projecting from yourself and budget towards your passion so that you don't have to work for nobody. So in the sense that if she being working for somebody and making $15,000 a day, that could come back to her without having to work for somebody who will only pay her about $4,000 out of that $15,000 a day. You know? And it is for this society, our divine potential will trigger society, you know, because we take it from a space that we gave for decades and give it back to ourselves now, you know, business-wise, vacation-wise, time for meditation, time for self-love, time for healing, time for all these things. All this space now we're giving back to us, you know, while taking care of our external business now. When I mean taking care of the reality that we choose to live in now, you know, and this is why our divine potential triggers society, you know. Don't feel it, don't see it. They know it there. They know it there before they even implemented it was there. You know? You know, that's why they had to keep distracting us from looking at within ourselves and tap it into the passions that we be holding in ourselves now. You know? And now that we have awakened to the truth of who we are and sharing our truths with beautiful souls as to the vision that all of us who are within ourselves behold. Hello, Leah fan 700 Grand Rising. Yeah. Now that we behold this truth, and because I have spoken to others like-minded souls like myself, and you know, it's not like back then when I used to think, well, something wrong with me now, or somebody, or if it's only me like this now. And everybody have the same dream but different passions, and some of these passions that we had within ourselves, we were rendering it onto the system and building their thing in so much that they're trying to take our souls and put it in a machine to keep being superior to us. And it's not about that anymore, you know. And this is what it means when I say our divine potentials triggers society, you know. It triggers people fake reality, fake emotions, fake everything. The way we eat, the way we live, the way we depend on politicians, the way we, how to say this, boy, the way we co-create with our reality intentionally now is no longer giving the attention to the system that is continuously making us think to ourselves that we are lack-minded now, you know. Now we become limitless in the sense that every home, every space that is in alignment with ascension or alignment in 5D now have a space to be what it choose to be in reality. And that comes from our sacred heart, our thoughts we carry about ourselves, You know, me inside of here, I'm a fucking queen. You know, bigger than what is anybody can see. Gita, Kaki, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I'm seeing everybody and I'm saying hello. You know, and it is for this beautiful souls, you know, it triggers society, it triggers them so much that they trying to create a whole kind of distraction. So at the time we just sit down and laughing at the bullshit they putting out for because we see them for the first time in a long while they were manipulating, fucking us for everything that we were building for them, you know, so that they could snare our souls and build reality suitable unto them. But now, it have a big ass problem, and it's not our own, it's them. Because as we get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, well, actually, we actually bigger in this present moment. And I know this for true. Louis, Grand Rising, you know. And I know this for true because I can tell you this, you know, they're scared. They're all scared of what will happen to them. Kamal, Grand Rising, yeah. They're scared of what may happen to them because without our energy, that matrix, that system, that thing that they built to trap our soul will collapse, you know, and collapse in a state where it cannot come back, you know, because we have awakened to our divinity, to the God within us, the gods we are now, yeah, the gods we are in reality, you know, the gods and goddesses we are in reality, and the power that we hold within ourselves to manifest new reality consciously, knowing what it is good for ourselves, because the omnipotent God, source, creator, universe, mother earth, whatever you want to call our energy, only created from a space of love and goodness for our humanity. Now we as humanity now understand deeply who we are, to change the trajectory and listen to ourselves within our intuitive guidance that leads us to new realities. Know that our divine potential triggers society, and this is what it means. So I say to you today, beautiful souls, because goodness and living our innate states, our true potentials, our realness, while having fun doing it, you know, having spaces that connect with us and brings our passions to life and to share them with others as a bartering or exchange of gems or whatever it is people wanted to use for the business to create a sustainable, resourceful way of living, you know, and bring our divine purpose into fruition in every present moment. Hey, now tie something to scare the matrix, because there's no more power given to a space that didn't deserve it in the first place, you know, that just gaslighted us, manipulated us to believing that without them we have nothing, when we have everything under our divine reincarnation, our divine birthright, our divine intelligence, our way of being, our way of manifesting from realities, because everything is taken from a space that is uniquely prepared to bring something to the table so that the collective can benefit from it without having to chase it, using the web of life to bring the quantum field to subject to what it is each and every human being in their life need, by connecting energetically to spaces that gives in a way that is beneficial to each and every one of us now. So I say to you today, beautiful soul, it's the reason, baby. It's the reason we're living in every present moment. What we choose for our life, what we choose for ourselves, what is free for us, what is our birthright. You understand? That will now take a whole spin on that thing called the matrix and collapse the system. I hope this was helpful to somebody today, because I am feeling so damn good about that, in the sense that we get to co-create, we get to live in harmony with each other, we get to live in peace with each other, we get to use our divine gifts and be authentic with each other, because ain't nobody will be lying to us when we done already within ourselves, and they can't hide the shit from us. You understand? And continuously using our divine potential to now destroy, collapse, eliminate a 3D system that kept us bound and reincarnating into some deep shit that is not our blueprint. And it's not we fighting wars against them, you know. It's we being who we came here to be in our birthright innately. Giving to ourselves the truth of ourselves and living that in reality. I am Cosmic Intelligence, here to serve our humanity in sacred love, abundance consciousness, peace, authenticity, organically. You know, getting straight to the point with what I came here, what and who I came here to be. Ready to sit, rock back and watch the distortion of 3D come to the devastation it is, and bring our birthright into reality. Okay, Tanopon, hi, Grand Rising. So, for everybody who now coming on to the live, you can go back to the replay and you can hear what it is I was talking about. Because I tend not to stay on lives too long now. I just come deliver the message, and if you have something to say or something to add, then there's no problem. We could chat, whatever the case may be, you know. And it is what it is, you know. I get on here and I don't fool around. I get on here to speak from my heart, share my love, and guide those who are either now waking up, who are in the middle of waking up, and or who is awakened here with me and is in alignment with my energy now. So This is what it is as I close this live today. Hi, Wire Ramsey. Hi. Yes. And as I say to you today, beautiful souls, keep being beautiful beings you are now. And don't doubt yourself for the dream that you have inside yourself now. Because it's that dream that will shatter or trigger society into turning their head or to turning themselves, turning themselves into within themselves to know the truth of who they are and follow their passions and live the divine potentials in reality and take their power back and give it to themselves, creating their own ways of being in reality and serving each other collectively as our divine source, universe, Mother Earth, whatever you want to call our energy, flow through our lives and gives us our birthright to be free. I love each and every one of you. Do have a beautiful, spectacular, awesome, magical, amazing day. Just as you are sending sacred love, abundance, consciousness, peace, authenticity, organically to each and every one of you, the truth of who you are, breaking the chains that held us bound and giving ourselves the love that was always within us and now serving our crown. Until another day, on another live that comes your way, have a beautiful, spectacular, awesome, magical, amazing day, just as you are, filled with many blessings, breakthroughs, and miracles for your life, the truth of who you are. One love, one love, one love. Namaste. Bye.